Welcome to Soul Aligned Manifestation, a gentle space to reconnect with your vision, realign with your energy, and manifest in a way that feels deeply true to you. I'm your host, Alison. Here you'll find grounded guidance and insight to help you bring your dreams to life while nurturing your well-being every step of the way. Hello there, I'm Alison. I'm so glad you're here. I've spent the last 8 years deeply immersed in intuitive practices, refining my abilities through tarot, healing and clearing in the Akashic records, studying the divine feminine, and energy work. I'm also certified in somatic hypnotherapy, which has given me a solid understanding of how the subconscious mind can influence everything we try to create in our lives. Through years of experience with manifesting and a lot of trial and error, I have seen firsthand what creates real shifts and what just leaves you spinning your tires. So I want to start off by talking about two of the most defining things about your soul's blueprint, which is what is called your energy center of training and your soul group of origin. And the reason I want to start off with these things is because so much of manifesting is working with energy. So why not start by knowing your own unique energetic makeup? When I talk about manifesting, I am talking about the process of intentionally creating your reality by aligning your energy, thoughts, emotions, and actions with the experiences that you want to have. At its core, manifesting is not just about wishing for something and hoping it appears. It's about becoming an energetic match for it. And what that means is everything that you desire carries a certain energetic frequency. So, in order to bring that into your life, you need to align your own energy with that frequency. And that alignment happens on multiple levels through your beliefs, your subconscious patterns, the way you speak about your desires, the actions you take, the emotions you feel. Think of manifesting like tuning into a radio station. If you want to hear 101.3 FM, you have to turn your dial to exactly that number. Your thoughts, emotions, and actions are the dial. If you're tuned to 88.7 FM, you aren't going to get the song you want, no matter how much you want it. A lot of mainstream manifestation advice focuses on things like vision boards, scripting, or repeating affirmations. And these can definitely be helpful tools, but manifesting is really about your inner world, which has a lot of layers. When you're manifesting from a soul aligned place, you're not trying to force things or make things happen through willpower. Instead, you're attuning to the version of yourself who already has what you want, and you're letting your energy, mindset, and actions come from that place. So, if something hasn't been working for you in the manifesting process, you might find answers to why that is in your unique energetic makeup. I think it's important to know about yourself on the soul level because it reveals aspects of our personality that may previously have been unconscious, like why we're motivated to do certain things and why we experience more challenges in some areas. And these are things that can keep you stuck if you don't have awareness of them. It can also help you understand why you're here and what you want to be doing during your time here. One thing that I've noticed with clients is that they have these visions and goals that they want to manifest, but they tell me they feel stuck or they're not sure what they're supposed to be doing or if they're doing the right thing. And this can go on for a really long time. I'm talking years. So with manifesting, I think it's really important to get to know yourself as well as you can energetically and on the soul level so that these blind spots don't keep you stuck anymore. So let's get into the first aspect about yourself that's the most defining, and that's what's called your energy center of training. Just to give some background on the energy centers of training, most people have heard of the chakras, the spinning energy centers in the body, like the heart or the throat chakra. But there's also what I'm going to refer to as special schools in the universe that match each chakra. And your soul chose one of these to study in, kind of like choosing a major in college. That's where you train to become extra good at certain energies like love, communication, or intuition. This information comes from the Akashic records, which are an energetic archive of your soul's journey across time. Every soul, yours, mine, everyone's, has a special book, so to speak. And this book keeps track of everything your soul has ever done, thought, experienced, or learned. And not just in this life, but in every life that you've ever lived. Where you've been, what you've struggled with, what you've mastered, and what your soul came here to do, it's all written in there. And the library of soul books is what's called the Akashic Records. It's kind of like the universe's version of a giant Google Drive folder, but for your soul. Every time you make a choice, learn a lesson, or go through a big experience, it's added to your soul's document. And what's really cool is that the Akashic Records don't just store past information, they also hold the potential of your future based on your current energy, patterns, and choices. So if you're wondering why you feel blocked in some area of life or why certain patterns keep repeating, there's clues in your soul record. When I tune into the Akashic Records during a reading, I'm not just pulling random mystical information. I'm accessing this soul level archive of who you really are underneath the conditioning behind the version of you that's been shaped by your past experiences. So for manifesting, why does this matter? Because if you're trying to manifest from a more surface level place, like using affirmations or vision boards, but you've got soul level blocks or patterns you don't even know about, it's like trying to drive with the parking brake on. You might move a little, but not very far, or you'll keep wondering why it feels like something's off. The Akashic Records help you figure out which energetic gifts your soul came in with, what patterns or challenges you're here to heal, what your soul actually wants in this life, and what it wants to do while you're here, and how to align with the most soul-honoring version of your life path. So through a specific process, I access the Akashic Records to receive this insight. So when I talk about your energy center of training, I'm referring to the realm that your soul chose to specialize in. And this is something that I'm able to identify by tuning into your soul's blueprint within the Akashic Records. So these realms each hold a particular energetic frequency, and we choose one of these realms to specialize in and become a representative of it while we're here. And we become experts at bringing these frequencies into our lives and the lives of others. And each of these realms has energetic strengths, and each of them has weaknesses, which you're most likely going to see play out in different ways depending on which center you've trained in. So, for example, if you've trained in the fourth energy center, which corresponds with the heart chakra, you're likely going to be very gifted at healing and have very loving qualities. But some of your weaknesses might be having one sided relationships where you're constantly giving but not receiving. So, if you've trained in this realm, an area that you might be unknowingly losing energy in is the area of relationships and having one sided relationships. So, as you're listening, I invite you to reflect on the kinds of practices that make you feel most grounded or lit up. Are there areas where you felt stuck or drained, even though you've been doing all the right things? That could be a clue about your energetic makeup. Your energetic frequencies are the soul level energies that you carry, and depending on which center you've trained in, you'll specialize in certain frequencies. So, for example, if you've trained in the center corresponding with the root chakra, you'll specialize in the energies of compassion and grounding. If you've trained in the center corresponding with the solar plexus chakra, you'll specialize in the energies of balance, harmony, and beauty. And if you've trained in the center corresponding with the throat chakra, you're going to have a lot of energy running through the throat chakra, and you'll specialize in communication, teaching, and self expression. It's like having a special recipe in your soul. You might have extra sprinkles of creativity or compassion, but also a little too much perfectionism or doubt. And when you know your recipe, you can work with it, not against it. The energetic frequencies you carry can influence which manifesting techniques work well for you in a subtle way. So, for example, someone who has trained in the fifth center or the center corresponding with the throat chakra is going to have a lot of energy running through the throat chakra. So, a manifesting technique that would work well for them could be saying affirmations out loud. Because if you've trained in this center, expressing yourself is going to be crucial for you to find balance, and you'll most likely feel stifled if you don't have an outlet for this. It's not a huge shift, but it's a subtle tweak that could make a meaningful difference in how you resource and direct your energy. Or just as another example, if you've trained in the third center or the energy center corresponding with the solar plexus chakra, you might be prone to perfectionism and doing things perfectly, which could eventually lead to burnout. So you would benefit from frequent reminders of this, and just knowing that doing things perfectly could be a potential challenge for you. It might be more beneficial for you to choose a technique that allows for more flexibility. So, knowing your energetic strengths and challenges helps you use your energy more intentionally when manifesting, and it shows you where you might be losing energy without realizing it. Not that long ago, I was feeling very stuck with my career. I had been in the same field for about 10 years, and I knew I had outgrown it. It was not fulfilling. I was not wanting to be doing it anymore. And at the same time, I was feeling very drawn towards a new career path, which is actually the work that I'm doing now. It's more intuitive work, which is centered around metaphysical and energy work. I also had just had my first baby, and I knew I didn't want to work a corporate job for 40 hours a week anymore with a set, strict schedule. But I just had a lot of fear and doubt around leaving the field that I was in to pursue this new work. I just kept questioning if it was right for me, if it was the right path for me to go down. Should I go back to school? Should I go get another degree? And just, I had all these thoughts about whether I was doing the right thing or what I should be doing. And a lot of my energy went into thinking about that for a long time. I think it was about a year, actually. So even though I had this other vision, career and income wise, I just was constantly worrying about whether I was making the right choice in pursuing this new path. So When I learned my energy center of training, which is the sixth realm, the realm that corresponds with the third eye chakra and the realm of intuition and clarity and truth, this was very validating for me because it showed me there was a reason why I felt drawn towards this other work. And it helped me realize I was on the right path. And I was able to realign my energy towards this other work and put my focus on that instead of focusing so much on whether or not it was the right thing for me to do, because that really kept me stuck for a while. And maybe some of you are experiencing something similar where you're feeling pulled in a certain direction, but doubt keeps popping up. When you know your energetic frequencies and what governs your soul drives, it can really help you connect with what is true for you. So, along with your energy center of training, another important piece of your energetic makeup is what is called your soul group of origin. And this also gives insight into your soul's gifts, tendencies, and how you naturally operate. And this is about to get really woo woo, but I have found that people really tend to resonate with the information about their soul group of origin when they hear it. They tend to really resonate with the strengths and weaknesses, and they find that they really identify with some really distinct personality traits that they have. Just wanted to share that. So, the soul group of origin means the place where your soul experienced its first few incarnations. A good amount of the world's population are what we call Earth souls, souls that have only ever incarnated on Earth. And then there is another category of souls that are called star travelers or star seeds. And these are souls that have experienced their formative incarnations in a place other than Earth. I also just want to mention that one's not better than the other. If you're a star traveler, it just means your soul chose to experience its formative incarnations in places other than Earth. Anyways, when you are a star traveler, this means you'll have been impacted by the environment that your soul grew up in, and this can affect your strengths and what your soul wants to do. And the energy of that star system becomes a permanent part of your soul's identity and energy. So if you think of it this way, think of it as if you grew up in another country, like France. Your personality and identity are going to be strongly influenced by that cultural background. And then let's say you move to another country. You're always going to carry certain traits with you from having grown up in France. That's the way the soul groups of origin work. You absorb, so to speak, the energies of that star system. Just like the energy center of training, each soul group of origin has its strengths and each has its challenges. Each soul group of origin also has its own history, and this can affect you on a subconscious and energetic level. For example, there's a soul group of origin called Sirius, and this group has an affinity for technological advancement. However, they have a history of sharing this knowledge without using discretion, and it led to a lot of unintended destruction. So, if Sirius is your soul group of origin, you might subconsciously have this fear that something is going to blow up in your face because that literally did happen with that soul group. So, I know this is very woo woo, and this information probably seems out there. But again, many people tend to really resonate with the traits and characteristics of their soul group of origin and find it very validating. And it can uncover personality traits that were previously unconscious. And I think this can be very helpful in manifesting because it can help you move forward instead of getting stuck and not knowing why. And I think knowing your soul group of origin can be really helpful with the manifesting process because it reveals the core energetic qualities, values, and lessons that your soul is naturally aligned with. It can give you clarity on what truly resonates. So each soul group has distinct energies. And when you understand this, you gain insight into what motivates you, soul level desires, and natural gifts. And this helps you manifest what's authentically aligned, not just what your ego thinks you should do or what you should want or what others are manifesting. It can also help you find more effective manifestation methods. So, different soul groups resonate with different ways of working with energy. For example, some groups are more action oriented, while others manifest more through creativity or service. Knowing your soul group can help you choose manifestation practices that actually work for your energy. It can also help you address potential challenges. Having awareness of your soul group's typical challenges allows you to proactively address and overcome potential blocks in your manifestation journey. So, for example, if your soul group has a tendency towards overthinking, you might focus on practices that ground you and help clear your mind. And this is why I'm offering the Soul Blueprint Snapshot. It's a clear snapshot of the unique energetic frequencies you carry, and it's a great place to start with the manifesting process. And if you're already in the manifesting process, it can be a very helpful tool for gaining clarity, deeper alignment, and understanding your energetic strengths and possible challenges. One client said, Allison's reading helped me understand my desire for authentic self expression. Her reading has helped me understand where I have untapped potential and what avenues to explore. I highly recommend this reading to anyone seeking deeper self understanding and spiritual guidance. This reading will tell you your energy center of training, and you'll get to know your skills and strengths based on your own energetics, and it will also tell you your soul group of origin. It will tell you potential challenges that you might have and some suggestions on how to achieve more balance. You'll gain awareness of aspects of your personality that may previously have been unconscious. And if you'd like to learn more about the Soul Blueprint Snapshot or you're ready to pick yours, I've included a link to this offering in the show notes. I've also included a link to my Instagram, and you can DM me if you have any questions. And if you're curious to know more about the energy centers of training in general and just the strengths and weaknesses of each center, I did make a free ebook that you can download, and I have also included a link to that in the show notes. When you know the energetic blueprint that you came in with, it can be very helpful and it can help you to work with yourself rather than against yourself. Thank you for tuning in today. Your time and energy are valuable, and it truly means so much that you're here. If this episode resonated, I'd be honored if you could share it with a friend, your community, or on your socials. Keep showing up for your vision, one aligned step at a time.